I would like to say at the start of this video, we've had about 500 entries for our trophy contest. And some of the viewers who have written in with the trophy, they have been contacted and said that they have won. This is not so because the contest is hardly started yet. It's going to be about a month until we actually announce who the winner is. So if you have been contacted saying that you have won, it's a scam. So please ignore that. Sorry about that. Kind of out of our control. And now back to our regular programming. Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. We're in the shop, obviously. Mitch behind the camera. And we're working on a collaboration with Covell, and we're doing a trophy. I think you might know that. If not, this is going to be the trophy. And we had a coin toss, and I lost, but I chose to do 2, 4, and 6. Those are the even numbers. Ron's doing 1, 3, 5. And I have an idea for working on number 2. So I'll explain that. It's basically a trophy, which we're both making with our hands. So I wanted to put some hands on the trophy because I think it's significant, and I think it would be a nice way of reminding everybody that this is a handmade trophy. I bought some metal. I have some mesh. I have some aluminum. This is going to be for the plate that goes on top, because each of us has to have a top plate where the other layer from the other person sits onto. So this will be, it's going to be round, obviously, and machined in the lathe. So here's my idea: the mesh, and then we have some spaces, and then the hands. And I think I want about, in my head, I think I want 5 hands going around. Maybe it's more, I don't know. And I visualize 2 sets of hands, or 2 different styles of hands. One would be kind of fine and sleek, like a young woman's hands, and the other would be kind of gnarly and maybe big knuckles, like an old man's hands. So I thought that if I did both sets of hands, I would do 5 hands of each. And then when the trophy's made, all depending on what the rest of the trophy's like, we can decide, or the person who wins the trophy, they can decide which hands they want, because maybe one style of hands would suit the trophy a bit better than the other set of hands. That was my idea. So what we're going to do, first of all, is to cut this. I have a roller that I've had for years, and someone gave it to me. We're going to roll this, we're going to weld it, and then it's going to be a loop. After it's welded, it goes back into the roller. That's what makes it round after the welding. And then we'll work on the spaces and the hands, and I'll mark out a circle here, we'll bandsaw it, and machine it in the lathe. So let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to be as part of the draw for the trophy, you have to comment. You put trophy. That's it. Thanks. I did my calculations. If you want circumference, it's 2 pi r, and it's 21 inches, 0.2. And I had this is actually the right size. So if I put my tape measure around, I get the same measurement. So I feel like I'm on track there. We'll cut this in the bandsaw now, and we'll get the roller happening here. Sounds old, doesn't it? So I make an adjustment here each time. I've got these two screws that I turn and it lifts up the third roller. The third roller gets lifted up and that's what increases, or it decreases the radius. And if you do a little bit at a time, it's better than if you want to do everything at once. So what's going to happen is this is going to be a little bit of a straight section because it doesn't get rolled the same as the rest. So when it gets welded, that's why it needs to go back in here and get rolled for the last time. And as you go up, it rolls it faster, or the radius is decreasing faster. So we're getting there. Maybe one more on each. There we go. Okay. We're going to TIG weld this now. See if I can do a nice little TIG. A tiny little bead, that's what I want. Because it's going to burn through really quick if I'm not careful. It might even burn through anyway. So I have to get the heat way down and be really careful. All right, I'm going to braze the rest of this because there's less chance of me going into a hole and having it burn away. Like for example, see right here, it's super thin, and so to expect a TIG weld along there and not to burn through, that's not really realistic. So we're going to go over to the brazing torch and we're just going to put a nice little bead along there. Ooh. Well, I didn't sand it, I cleaned it. I cleaned it with some lacquer thinner. Let me check something. It's stainless steel. Oh. Look at that. That's why it's not brazing. It worked a little bit. And it's just a mesh, so let me see what I can do, because it looks like it flowed there. It didn't flow there, but let's just see what we can do. I had no idea I was buying stainless. I just thought it was regular steel. I got surprised. Yeah, it's not happy. I'll sand that off and I think it's going to be okay. Okay. Just taking off the high spots now with my belt sander. Looks pretty round to me. I don't see lumps or bumps. Looks good. So we're going to work on the plate now. So we have to go to, actually we have to mark it here, and then we go to the bandsaw, and then the lathe. I'm going to mark the middle. And it needs to be a little bit under 8 inches, 7 7/8. I got a pair of dividers here. Let's try that. Just draw a couple lines here. And yeah, we're at 7 7/8, so that looks fine. Okay, off to the bandsaw. This is 6061, it's 1/4 inch. It's going to get machined down to the OD, and then it's going to get machined down another 1/8 of an inch, and that's what locates this mesh ring. What I'm going to do now is to machine this about halfway, and it's going to be taken down to this size so that it locates this. If there's a little bit of play there, that's okay. It should fit fairly well. That's a good fit. Look, it just sits on there. There. Okay, go back to the bench. And the next step is to work on the hands. We'll see what happens. I've got some cardboard here because you can see what's going on here. this is the space that I have to mount the hands. And so this is maximum size I'm allowing myself. Here's the metal it's going to get cut out of. It's 6061, it's 080. I think it's going to get anodized pewter later. This will get sprayed a gray color. So it's not going to be bare metal. I want to put a finish on it. And I'll probably anodize this as well so that it matches the hands. So this is the point where I have some fun. I try something. Maybe I'll do a couple, and we'll see what happens here. So I want to make it a bit smaller. I don't want it full size. So I have to look at a hand to see where I'm going here. So that's going to come, oh, it doesn't come that far. It comes way back. And the middle finger is longer. It's very different from building a bicycle part or a motorcycle part, so I like that aspect of it, and I have no idea what Ron is doing at all, because what Ron is doing, this sits on top. So this here, have no idea. So the little pinky comes way down. And then it kind of cuts into, right? I think first of all, what we need is the size of the hand, and then a bit later on I could work on the shape more. And I talked about two different kinds of hands. This is going to be the sleeker hand, and the other hand is going to have large knuckles and not so nice. And what happens at the end here, what the cutoff is, I'm not sure. Maybe it'd be nice to have a radius or something like that. And then I also have to think of, I need 2 Allen screws to hold it on. So maybe the Allen screw, obviously one can go here, possibly, and then one up here. I don't think it's going to work on the fingers, so the Allen screws are going to have to be here somewhere. And I'm thinking that I want 5 of these hands. That's what I'm thinking, but maybe, I don't think 4 is good because 4 is too regular. 5 is an odd number. That's why I like 5. And 6 is also kind of a even number as well, so I don't know if I want 6 either. So I'm thinking 5. It's hard to see because someone's got their fingers in the way here. There we go. I need to roll this, and it's going to be, if I set it like that, that's about how much up I want to go. So if I put a ruler like that, that's where the roller, it's going to go through the roller like so. Not like that, but like that. It's also 6061, and it doesn't like to bend really easy because it's a T6. It's tempered. You know, something like 3003, that it would roll a little easier. So maybe I have to do a little hammering at some point on the ends because they're not going to be the same radius. That's just how rollers work. So it is it's getting a little bit of a set to it. Okay, so that's gone a little too far now. So we'll how to bring that back? Well, the fingers are pretty small, so they don't take a lot. You can see how it fits. It's not bad. Why don't we just leave it right there right now? And what I want to do now is to mount it, to see how the mounting is going to work. Because we have to figure out which holes to use. And then after I got one mounted, we can say, okay, it goes from here to here. And then we can look and see, and we can see if 5 is a good number to have going around. I have 2 Allen screws, so I have to figure out where I want them. Do I want them to be in line, or do I want them up a little bit? I think I want them up a little bit, because then they're kind of emphasizing the slope of the hand. So if we do a hole there. Let's put the first hole in, and then we'll look at where the second hole is going to go. I can scribe it from the back. I can do that too. So that's what it looks like. And you can see how this needs to be out a little bit more, and this is a little bit too far out. So I need to do a little bit of finessing here to get the hand even as it goes around. I think I want the next one to be about there, and then I don't think there's room for one in the. It would look weird having something holding a finger. Well, this is experimentation again, so. Oh. Okay, well that's really close to the finger, but the finger can get reshaped so that there's more space there. So we'll punch that, see how that works out. That's my concept. I think here the hand has to go a little higher, but I can jiggle around with the holes. Let's just see something. I want to, if I look down here, and the end of the hand is right about there, and that's about the end there. So I'm leaving a little gap here, and I can also make the hand a little shorter or a little longer. So there's 2. And there's 3, 4. Okay, so I can make 5 fit. That's what I wanted to know. I need to make the hand a little bit smaller, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, I have a lot of work to do now that we know that the concept, I think, is going to work. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to enter our contest to win a handmade trophy, you can either enter on our channel or on Ron's channel, Ron Covell. He does some fantastic metalwork, so I highly advise that you go and look at what he does. You just need to write in the comments, write trophy, and you will be entered. I don't know if the draw is going to happen here or in California, but if you enter in both channels, you'll have a better shot at winning. Mitch and I like coffee. If you buy us coffees, that's very, very helpful. Helps the channel just to flow right along. We have merchandise as well. Got a coffee mug somewhere too. I think you've seen that. You take care. We'll see you next time.